Hello everybody, welcome back. It's not Tuesday news day, it's Sunday. But I thought it's probably going to be a different day when you see this. It's not going to be Sunday. I've actually got a video going out Sunday, which is probably yesterday or 3 days ago. I don't know when this one's going out. Anyway, we're waffling. It's absolutely throwing it down outside. Everyone's match fishing everywhere. Everyone's match fishing. Northern Angling Show. People have been sending me lots of videos and pictures of that. Empty. Absolutely empty. Hardly anyone there, and not nice to see. Anyway, we're waffling again. Today, we are just in the tackle room. There is pole sections everywhere. I don't know if you can see all these. Good friend of mine, Tony, he's got in touch and he wants me to send over some dimensions. So I've come up here to do that. And I thought I'll bring you with me. I'm not going to bore you with that a bit though, because that's for a secret adventure that Tony's doing. Anyway, I'm going to do a couple of home improvements today. I've got some tackle I want to talk to you about down there. £30 worth. Let's do it in. We're going to do it in £10 bundles, right? And we're going to see what you can get for your money nowadays, completely at random, quite local, apart from one of them. But I thought, let's do a few home improvements. I want to try and add something. So when I'm sat here like this, looking at you guys, I've got a bit of space there, and a bit of space there. Not really much you can do about that though, is there? We could try and put something here. But I wouldn't mind chucking a screw up there. Probably chucking one here. So let me do that now, because I've got something that I can hang up there. But also, I found something the other day when I was out at a lake, and yeah, waffling. So, where's a drill? A few hidden talents people don't know about me, but I know how to use a drill. That'll do. One there, one there. Now, what should we hang up? I'll not do it because I'll break it. Need camera girl to come and hoover up now, don't we? Let's start with these Fishermania, actual Fishermania shirts. Remember Party Poker when they used to sponsor it? Fishermania XV111 and Fishermania XX. Exciting. Unfortunately, not really an exciting name on the back of them. Don't know if any of you know him. Who's the other one? Oh yeah, same. Anyway, we'll hang them there. What can I put there? I went yesterday to go and pick something up for a future video. And a lovely chap. He is called Kevin Oldham on Facebook. I'm not friends with him, but angler, sells lots of fishing tackle, really good price, budget tackle. And this is a, what is it? Shakespeare 9-foot float combo. When Angling Trust and Shakespeare teamed up, they were doing these little combos, and you scan the QR codes on the back. They can tell you where to fish, what to fish for, how to set it up, and all that stuff. Comes with a reel. This rod and reel, it's Shakespeare as well. It's not tat. 15 quid. Kev's doing them for. So I'm gonna hang that up there, and that will probably come into a future video. So thank you, Kev, for that. And sure I'll make use of that massive condom somehow. Anyway, look, already we've spruced up the tackle then, haven't we? Anyway, we're waffling, so I'll get rid of my important paperwork, put it over there. Right, today I'm going to talk you through some bits and bobs that I've picked up. Nothing majorly spectacularly interesting for you. However, I know a few of you young men out there that watch my channel that you guys might appreciate this. You might remember a lot of this stuff. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to put it on here in 3 different piles, and we're going to go through it. But one pile in particular, I'll leave till last because it is very exciting. But £10 each. What can you get for 10 quid off Marketplace or Carbu or anywhere nowadays? Who's selling it? Why are they selling it? And it sometimes makes for good content like this for you guys. Also, to get out and use it, and it is usable stuff. So let me grab it. Now we have got here 3 fishing rods. I'll put them there. Let's move that mug over to one side. What's that say on there? Oh, Aston Park Fisheries. Look. Oh, would you look at that? I hope their raffle's going well. Went in yesterday to go and get my raffle ticket. It's in my wallet downstairs, but I've put it on Facebook. I went in, spent £10 at Aston Park Fisheries, get entered into a raffle to win free tackle. So even if you don't win it, you've not lost. It's impossible to become a loser. You've not lost anything. Unlike these online firms that tackle you. Anyway, and they don't give you anything. Anyway, we're waffling. So, 3 rods there. That's one of them. This here, might have given you a sneak peek the other day, has got a reel in it. And this box here has got some more reels in it. So, what can £10 buy you on the used approved second-hand market nowadays? To some of you, this is going to be absolute tat. So stay tuned. Normally you'd say, like, you know, tune out. But anyway, where should we start? I'm going to save that lot till last. Let's get through this reel now. I did say in last video, one of the last videos, guess the name of the reel, and no one guessed it. And I don't mean they guessed it wrong. No one guessed it. This reel right here, I didn't travel too far for it. I spent too much time in traffic that actually made the journey seem longer than it was. But this reel cost me £10. I'm not joking, it was 10 quid. All this, 10 quid for them, 10 quid for this, 10 quid for that. I didn't haggle anybody. This is the whole reason why I do it. Sometimes when I get somewhere, like this box, you're only right corner from here, from where I am. And I said to him a few times, are you sure you only want £10 for this lot? And he even added in some absolute gold there as well. And he refused to take any more money for it. Guy lives in like an £500,000 house as well, so I don't think money's a thing for people like him. So we'll start off with the reel. Now, I'll get some close-ups of this as well as I'm talking through it, but comes in a lovely case. Some of you will know what it is straight away, come on. But 1, 2, and it still smells of that, what do you call it, assembly grease. You know when reels are brand new. Anyway, 3 of them. Comes with spare handle. Look at that. Look at that. It's never been on reel, that. This thing's brand new. Had lime put on it. Never been out fishing. And £10. Quite a sad story, to be fair. But I'll also talk about that in a minute. Anyway, here is the winder. Look at that thing. Eh? Just tighten and look that way. Normally you have a bit of a thing on this side. Look at that. £10. And although £10 can get you a lot of reel nowadays, new, on tap market, this thing is no tat. This is also Shakespeare. This is a Shakespeare Mach 3 XT. Absolutely stunning bit of kit. Comes with 3 spare spools, spare handle, double handles already on it. To fold the handle down, you hold everything still, wind it back, couple of turns, and just fold it in like that. Nice and easy, really easy to use. Double handle, nicely balanced. Bail arm, listen at this. Oh, and again, you get that audible click when you open bail arm. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Listen, listen. Oh. Wow. £10. That is what £10 can get you nowadays on the old second-hand market. And granted, it might have had a cast or two, either him trying it out, but this thing, there's nothing, there's not a scratch on it, there's not a bit of mud on it. It's brand new. It's probably never been fishing. Underneath here on this spool is a little tiny piece of paper, little sticker, it says £6. Under that one, £3, £4, I think that's a 2, £2. So this person, he was about to go and have some lovely days fishing with that, whether it be on his local commercial or, I don't know, down at river, or maybe even going and doing a bit of waggler fishing. He might have even been heading off down to the river, or he might have been doing with some £2 main lines, some really finesse fishing somewhere. So this guy was about to be prepared for anything and everything. £6 line is the maximum size line I use on all my feeder rods when I go to Allcroft and fishing for like 30-pounders and stuff. So a £6 main line on a reel like this is absolutely ample. And sad story, I sent a woman a message and said, that reel's still available? And she said, yeah, of course it is. I says, I'll come and fetch it first thing in the morning. It's a bit late tonight. She said, yeah, send me the address. Off I went. Went to go and pick it up, and there was a lot of tackle, a lot. And I only came away with this. And it's quite safe that I did, because I said, just out of interest, and you don't have to tell me if it's a personal reason, why selling it? Is it partner packing up fishing, or is it spares? Or and she said her husband passed away not long back. So and it were her daughter that had listed him. So the woman I was speaking to wasn't the woman I was talking to on Facebook. So it cost me a tenner, and then I started to feel quite bad. I said, do you want any more for it? She said, no, it's just needs to go. That was one of the things that he said that he wanted out of all this, if he ever passed away, was for his tackle to go to people that are going to use it and appreciate it. So the money wasn't an issue. Lovely house, nice big cars. I'm not trying to value build me, but only paying a tenner for it. However, there was a lot of tackle in this garage. She walked me in, really trustworthy woman. Like, she don't know me. I'm from miles away. I hardly look a threatening thug, but she invited me in. She shut garage door, and there were lots of tackle. There were lots of poles, lots of rods. So for the sake of me being there, and this only costing a tenner, I thought I'd give her a bit of advice on some other bits. So I said, have you got all this listed? And she went, yeah. She opened a little wicker basket, and she said, this used to be his years before, and he keeps all his reels in it. So I said, do you mind if I have a look? And I might be able to give you a few pointers on if they might be listed a bit too cheap. This reel, when it came out, wasn't the most expensive reel in the world, but it's definitely probably Shakespeare's flagship reel. They're for sale now in this condition on eBay. You probably find them 50, 60 quid. I've got reels down here that cost me £400 or £500, so take it as you will. Second-hand market, 10 quid after a 50, 60 pound reel. Probably, who knows? Anyway, she started getting, she let me open this box. I started going through it. There were a lot of Daiwa close face. There were some nice Shimano reels. I only try and keep, down here next to me, I've got boxes and boxes of reels. It's unbelievable. And when I say boxes and boxes of reels, there's one absolutely full of reels. There's another one there, and then there's two more on top of this little platform I've got here. There were loads of them. So I only try and keep a few of each, otherwise I'd have every model of reel out there. And it's so I can pair them up with rods for future videos, and then do giveaways, and all I have to do is go on eBay and replace it with another, like, for example, Shimano reel if I give one away. So what I did, I sat down with her, and I did a bit of an inventory with her. I say, she's not, I don't like calling anyone old, it's not right, is it? I know people are, and they accepted it, but nobody should be called old. Right, very mature woman in her 60s, probably in a. I always get this wrong. I'll say someone's in the late 50s, and they'll turn around and say, "No, I'm 75," and it always blows me away. So I'll probably say like in her 60s. Lovely woman, young lady. Always call them young lady. And she started taking note of what I was saying. And I says, "Do me a favour, have you got this one listed?" And she's like, "Yeah." How much for? I've put them all on for £10. Like, right, take them all off, or get your daughter to do it. That one, 40 quid. Take 30 for it if someone offers you. This Shimano, nice Shimano reel. Some of you guys would love it. I've seen them on second hand when I was there on eBay, going for 90 odd pound on eBay with bids on them. People really keen. So I said that, chuck it on, take no less than 50 quid, put it on for 60, take no less than 50. Yeah, if someone makes you an offer at £50 on that, it'll go, sell it. There were a Maver pole, a big Shakespeare pole, there were some other bits and bobs, and I made sure that she had a lot more information than she did before. Anyway, we're waffling. So for £10 for this, I thought I'm getting an absolute bargain. I didn't know circumstances till I got there, and it kind of made me feel a bit sad. She wouldn't take any more money for it. So I get her a bit of valuable time. And by the time I got home, got settled and had some tea, I went back on the listing of the woman that she was selling everything, and she had actually listed all the reels for the right price, as I'd said. And yeah, hopefully she will sell them. But this is Shakespeare reel. I've got a lovely rod that I've recently picked up with a load of poles. I don't know if you know about them. I picked up a couple of poles the other day. I've got a lovely Shakespeare rod down there. So that, I think we're going to pair it up with a Shakespeare rod that I've got over there for a video probably next week. I went and picked up my bait yesterday for it. I went and picked up my bait for it last week, and then I went to pick my bait up for it week before as well, and I still never did it. But that's a Shakespeare rod over there, so we'll have to go out and do a Shakespeare session. Also, if anyone's got a Shakespeare baseball cap, and you're selling it cheap, or you just want to get rid of it, let me know. I can't find one anywhere. No tackle shops have got one. I can't find any new old stock. And yeah, all ones I can find on eBay are like 5 million quid from United States. It's a bit weird. They used to be everywhere, Shakespeare baseball caps. But that, an absolutely stunning reel. I personally prefer the blue colour. They did them in like a champagne colour. They did them in like a blue colour like this. And then did them in this sort of Alveston red, if you will, a bit Range Rover. And absolutely stunning reel. I don't know if I should really say this because it's just speculating, but Rovex, if anyone knows of Rovex, John Wilson, pretty much the same reel. Anyway, I'll not say that again. But yes, very, very good reels if you've got that or the Rovex, great reels. So that is the Shakespeare Mach 3 XT with double handle, single handle option, and 3 spare spools, 4 spools in total. That is what you can get for £10 on the second-hand market in 2026. Lovely case. It is the Shakespeare case as well. Absolutely made up with it. So that is the first purchase that we've gone to pick up. Absolutely made up with that. So that is going to go over there, and we're going to do a video with a lovely rod over there that I've had to do some repairs to, just to make a video out of it. Not just, I've got millions of rods, but that one will go nice with that reel. Also, bit of sea fishing tackle dotted about. They're all over there at rest. Get that for a thing there. I have to go out and use that somehow one day. £800 line on it. Now, put that there. We're going to start with these rods here. I'll start with this one because it's not really something I can do much with. It needs a little bit of an adjustment on the ion end. However, these 3 rods, I seen them on Facebook in a town just near me. So I sent him a message and said, "Hi, can I come and fetch these now, please?" And she said, "They're at my dad's. I'll ring him and see if he is available tonight." I'm selling them for him. He don't do Facebook, which is very good, very wise. She messaged back within 5 minutes. "Yep, he's in. Yeah, go and fetch him." So I said, they're listed for £10. Is it £10 each? And I don't like leading with, or is it £10 for all of them? I don't want people thinking, no, let him have them for 10 quid. If someone wants 10 quid each, I'll pay 10 quid each. So she said, yeah, £10. So she sent me his address. He were even closer to me than she were. Went round corner. Not an angler. Couldn't think of anything worse, he said. He went once with his dad when he were very young, and his dad were just like us, catching one after another. It wicked at fishing. And he didn't like that, because he says he weren't that fortunate. Anyway, we're waffling, bird's eye. He says, you can have a look at him, and I don't always mind for a tenner. I did say, is it a tenner for all 3? And he said, yeah, just want rid. Just, if they don't sell to the right person, they'll just end up going in bin or something. This one, bag's a bit naffed on it, but we can sort that. This, it's got no branding on it, it's got no livery on it. It's a very, very old split cane fly rod. I'm starting with this one because I don't do fly fishing on here, but it fully assembles. Some nice little metal collars on there. It fully assembles. Don't know what weight it is. I'd have to have someone come and have a chuck with it to find out. But split cane, all the eyes are perfect. They're all polished lovely. It's been dry stored for a long time. That one looks a bit iffy. but a nice split cane fly rod that we could go and do a fly fishing session. I've got loads of fly rods. If I tell you what I've got 5 Berkeley fly rods that I picked up a while back with some rods. Up until that point, I didn't know Berkeley made fly rods. I actually went for some carp rods. And he says, oh, you can have these. And I very nearly refused to take them as well for nothing. And they're nice, but they're expensive on eBay. And you're giving me for notes, so we'll have to go out one day and try and figure out some fly fishing. Anyway, waffles. Lovely little fly fishing rod, that. Split cane, stunning. Really, really nice. Already, we've outdone ourselves with a tenner. The next one is, I'm going to start with this one. I think that's the nice one. These look like they're in their original bags. I miss doing this. As a kid, everyone, you packed up your session, you completely stripped your rod down, you broke it into 3, put it in your bag, slid it in your tube, put your tube in your hold all, and you walked 5 miles home, didn't you? Now, we just leave them made up and just shove them into one of them great things down there. And I get it, it's nice and convenient, and we all like that. But I don't know, sometimes you just miss the struggle, don't you? Anyway, look at the size of this thing here. We have got a Intrepid. Not an Intrepid, it's called an Intrepid. This lovely cork handle. Not had no abuse, that. 12-foot float deluxe. So it is the Intrepid Deluxe. And up here, it's got the KPM Superglass sticker on it. They normally come off straight away, as do these stickers down here. So this one's not had much use at all. This is another 3-piece rod. Absolutely immaculate. It really, really is. All eyes are there. There's no damage to absolutely any of them. Again, I'll get a couple of close-ups on this, just so you can see it in its like better glory or whatever. Get out. Original bag for this one, but this lovely 3-piece rod, absolutely immaculate. And I bet you're thinking, oh, it's just a load of old tat now. Well, back in the 70s, early 80s, this stuff was starting to become like a work of art. This is where people really started finessing the rods down, way before my time. However, during a lot of yours times, you'll find that a lot of the eyes on rods like this, they're all little tiny steel guides. It's a steel on the butt ring. Sometimes that one has, because that has got quite a bit of an angle from whatever reel you're using to it, that one might have a bit of a nylon insert. Not got one up here. You can't see it, but in one of them. And then they're all steel guides up until the very top one, and that's got a nylon insert in there. And you're thinking, why? Why not in all of them? Well, back in the day, they were probably trying to save money. No, that top eye has the more aggressive angle on your line. These don't, because your line's going from there to there. Even when it's bent, it's still just going from there to there. There'll be a short angle on these. This one, when you're playing a fish, has the most aggressive angle from rod tip towards your fish, which puts the most strain and sort of abrasion on your line. So even though they're quite safe, this one is where you'd see damage to your line, if not, or you'd get pig's tail. So they put a tiny bit of nylon in there, a little nylon insert, and this one, you can't see it, but it's got a threaded tip in there. 4 swing tips, I've got some down there. You know what a swing tip is, or a spring tip, a screwing one. So we can get out at some point and go and use this rod. Stunning. I love stuff like this. I've got a pile over there. There's well over 1,000 that all look like this. They're all paired up. I've got even more which are there stood up that broken, or they've got a mid or a top section missing, or a butt section. But the Intrepid 12-foot float rod, that is the second rod of this £10 haul in the rods. So already we've got a nice Shakespeare reel, 2 rods, and we're already 20 quid in, which already is a bit of a bargain. This one is like the cherry on the cake. This is a really nice rod. So let's start with the butt section. Good colour of that already. Then you've got some lovely, got no room in loft, have I? Oh, here we go, scratching it all over. Look at that, nice long cork handle. You think of rod handles today, they end about here, right? Because this, hitting you waste all the time. And back in the day, a nice long handle like that used to aid with casting like light float rigs and feeder rigs, because we'd not finessed that yet either. Mainly just float fishing. But this is a Gladina seal float rod, made in England, and here it's got the Black Arrow 2 sticker still on it. Black Arrow 2 was the model of this rod. Handmade, no idea, way before my time, but some nice brass collars on it. Nylon in that eye there, if you can just see it, you can just see nylon in that one. So fishing a big reel, so your line's coming from this way, or fishing a small reel where your line's coming from this way, that can accommodate some nice big or small reels on it. Stunning rod, very lightweight, very lightweight. I know when they're together and you've got a bit more brass on than usual, they do get a bit weighty. But again, this one, the rest of the rod has little tiny steel guides all the way up it. I love the colour of this, really nice. And again, I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, it's just a load of old tat. Yeah, it is. However, some of us, I mean, I started fishing when I were 5 or 6 years old, and I just went. It's a funny story that I'll tell you one day. And I weren't actually meant to be there, but I went fishing, and to see if I'd really enjoy it or not, I was given a rod like this back in 1995 or 6. And if I'd enjoyed it, my mum's partner at the time would have probably given me a fiberglass rod. And I used to really get on with using this really old rod. It was brilliant. This is top section. Again, steel guides all the way up. And then in the tip, you've got one more nylon guide. Again, that's your more aggressive angle on your line up there. That one seems to take the most, give the most abrasion. Absolutely stunning. This is a fiberglass rod. I've got some rods over there that are made out of sticks, and they've still got the knots in the wood from where the branches grew off the tree. That's how old they are. This one's got a screw-in tip as well, so we can chuck a spring tip or a swing tip on there and go out and go and do some swing tip fishing. But again, an absolute stunning rod. This is practically brand new. All the guides have been like double whipped, so you've got some brown whipping over the actual glass, then the eye has been stuck on, and then it's had like a two-tone zebra effect whipping on each one in like 3 different layers. It is absolutely stunning. Brass guides, I get a bit of a clean up with some emery cloth. They do fit in. If you have got an old rod and you're going to clean up these brass collars, don't go mad. If you take too much off, they'll be sloppy and they'll fall out, right? You want to do it with a bit of fine emery cloth or even a soap sponge out at kitchen, don't tell her. And it's just sometimes enough just to take it down. You want them so they are a bit of a snug fit. And as they sort of be put together more often as well, they do loosen up. But the Gladina seal float rod, made in England, Black Arrow 2, absolutely stunning bit of kit. And £10 off Marketplace is all it cost me for these 3 rods. And some of you might be thinking, back in the day, that was probably like an £8 rod in 80s. Yeah. And an £8 to £15 rod in 80s would have been like a £300 rod today. So you think how far we've come technology wise, and how much our £300-400 rods today will fetch in 30 years time, 40 years time. It's crazy to think about. But 3 great rods for 10 quid. I'll get used after them. You'll see them on the channel. I'll use them. I'm not scared. If they break or snap, what's it cost me? 10 quid? And probably a bit of my pride. I don't like anything breaking fishing wise. But these rods was probably once in the hand of somebody who used to spend all his days trying to find that one nice carp or a couple of carp somewhere. Might have been around here, might have been near some of you guys. And probably his best memory of fishing with these rods, he probably went home and told his wife, I had 3 carp today. And she would have been like, whoa, whoa, where's my apron? You're being fed. So taking one of these to somewhere like Allcroft or Aston and getting 15 fish on it over £10, it'd probably be a nice way to hang these rods up. So expect some videos from them soon. I promise not to abuse them. I'm not a guy that likes doing stuff like that. But I do want to see them get some use. So 3 rods, absolutely stunners. £10 10 quid. What do you reckon? Get in comments. What about the reel? Do you reckon it's worth 10 quid? I reckon it's worth way more than that. To me, it's worth a penny to £1,000. Great reel, lots of life left in it. And what about the rods? Have you got one? Do you recognise them? Do you know much about fly fishing? Are they easily distinguishable? Can you tell what that is from looking at it? Because it's got no branding on it, it's all come off. And did you have 1 or 2 or 3 of these rods here? Let me know in comments, that'd be nice. Now, we have got some books. This is full of stuff, right? Some nice stuff as well in there. But these books, well, it's not that they weren't included. I went to go and pick up this box here, and it's got 12 reels in it, I think, or 13, I can't remember. And then he turned around and put these books in it when I got there. So he started talking to me about how some of these books are quite special, and then he turned around and said they were my dad's. God, look at that. And then I turned around and said, well, I'd like you to keep them then if they're your dad's. And he turned around and he properly insisted that I take them. So I think his name was Graham. Graham, if you see this, I know we had a good chat, but these things will stay with me forever. I've got a lot of good stuff like this that I've kept hold on for a long time. But the Angler's Handbook, look at that, published by Sprats. And inside here is some incredible stories and fish types and rigs and watercraft and reading water and hooks. And look, that's even a colour page there. I can't find a date on it, but from having a dig on the internet, this is from a long time ago. I just can't find a secure enough date to actually talk to you about the date on that. But that's it. It's by Sprats, little book, little handbook. Incredible thing to keep hold on. I love stuff like that. This here looks like it's been printed off in recent years. The River Trent Angling Guide. Environment Agency there, so I'm guessing this is somebody who went past, they wanted to start and explore the River Trent, and they went online, and EA were offering some sort of like print-off service where you could print off a bit of a map, and inside here, which someone like me, this really helps me because I never knew a lot of this stuff. It is just A4 sheets of paper that's been folded into a booklet. But the old grids, look, so here we've got, what we've got here, River Trent Angling Guide, Winch Hill, Stapen Hill, and then we've got Willington, Repton. It is absolutely full of different stretches of river. Like down here, where's that? Radcliffe on Trent, East Bridgeford, Gunthorpe, that's not far. Littleborough, Gainsborough, and it gives you all stretches and who runs it, Sheffield District AA day ticket. This is an absolute gold mine for someone like me. I'll be really looking forward to not take advantage, but really take advantage of the, well, I don't know, see if some of these people still run these stretches. That'd be great. So, River Trent Angling Guide, printed off from the EA. Recent years, but again, still a nice little feature. Everyone remember Steadfast? They sponsored Team England at one point. I've got some Steadfast Team England luggage. I've got some Steadfast Team England other bits as well. This is a Steadfast 2000 Angling Times Progress to Better Angling Guide. Free Steadfast 2000 cap, box sticker and brochure. Details inside. Should we try and enter it and see if we can still get them? But inside here, look at Coxie there, look! Look how young he is! Look at caps and everything back then. Oh, Coxie still representing Arbolino back then. Who else have we got in here? Dave Harrell. Floating line, how to fish floating line. Talking about, well, you've got some river floats there, but there's a bit of still water fishing there. Loads of little guys. There's stuff like this. I love it. You don't see stuff like this anymore. It's all guesswork, or it's all because he said so. But look, how to pole fish. So you used to get these little guides in Angling Times years ago when it used to be an actual newspaper when it was good, and you'd, every now and again you'd get something like this. Free Steadfast 2000 cap, box sticker and brochure. Crazy. Maybe this was the brochure then. And maybe someone's got the cap and the sticker. No! If you've got the cap and the sticker, let me know. That'd be cool. But yeah, there's loads of like useful tips, how to use a discordia and all that stuff. Really interesting stuff. Yeah, love stuff like that. What we got here? The World of Angling. There's no cover on this book. Very, very old. But there's not a colour page in here. It's black and white. And yeah, look who we got there. 21-year-old Susan Campbell threw away a whopper and can still smile. Read about old Scarface the Pike on page 65. So yeah, there's loads of stuff in here. Sea fishing, fly fishing, fishing in the harbour at Carrickfergus, overshadowed by the historic castle. No idea where that is. You guys might live next to it. You might have fished it before. Is that you in picture? Don't know when this book's from. We'll try and find a date in it. Is that how books work? Something I don't do a lot, books. Contributors. Derek Fletcher, John Goddard, Frank Gutterfield, Winston Hall, Jack Hilton, John Ingham, Bill Keel, Billy Lane, John Neville, John Piper, Peter Tombolson, Peter Wheat, Gwyn Williams, Tom Williams, Colin Wilcock. Souvenir Press. Oh, 1973 this was printed. So yeah, awesome bit of kit. Nice one for the shelf. So if you've got that book, let me know in comments. Here is Sea Course and Game Angling in Colour. This would have been a lovely book to have. Yes, you know, back in them days, I imagine, seeing a lot of stuff in black and white, being able to read other people's opinions in colour and see what they're doing would have been incredible. So yeah, don't know about a date on this one. We've got a date in here. Oh, again, 1973. This one's from. Loads of stuff. Sea fishing, sharks. Massive bag of grayling there, look. Grayling, a sporting fish that may be taken on fly or float tackle. This thing is absolutely full of memories, and like a lot of you lot would have probably had this book or something similar, and you would have read up on it, and you would have been like, I can't wait to get out this weekend. Like there, look, there's a guy to swing tip fishing, a ledger rig, tying knots, someone there mixing ground bait, it's sink bowl. God, imagine if our lasses found out if we'd took sink bowl fishing. There's someone there look, doing a weigh-in. We've got a name. There's no names, otherwise it's pointless me saying it. But yeah, stuff like that, absolute golden if you're into your old books. And I've got absolutely loads of them. And these came with this like pike there, look. Absolutely incredible. So, not tat as much. And I know a lot of you will be like, oh, the old books. And yeah, that's right. But you know, until you've got one in your hand and you're actually reading it, they are incredible to keep hold of. They really are. Right. I might have to bring you in a bit closer for this one, eh? What do you reckon? What about that? Is that a bit better? What do you reckon? Still see me head? You can see the bottom of that shelf. Let me just check. Yeah, you can see the bottom of that shelf. You can see me head. This box came with the books from lovely Graham. And I don't know where to start. I want to start with one of each, I think, and just randomly get them out and show you. Hopefully you've got a good view here. Let's start with this one. Look at that. Still got line on it. And a lot of you might think, oh, it's a fly reel. It's not. That's a reel. A normal reel. You could use it for a bit of fly fishing if you wanted to, but you wouldn't. You know, no, you wouldn't. That was your typical reel back in 60s, 70s. So when this chap's dad were a young lad, this would have been probably a reel of choice. No branding on the back of this one. I think if I try and clean up some of this brass, something may appear. I can't see any visible stamping. But little tiny ashtray size reel like that. We'll get out and use it. If you imagine, these rods are probably a bit after these reels. If you imagine that shoved underneath these collars on here, I'll just show you quick. So I know a lot of you are probably going, go on, do it, I dare you. Hands on back, thumb round front, and you've got a bit of a control finger there, and you can lock your fingers underneath the brass like that if you wanted to, and that'd be your winder, your fish retriever, your tackle bringer backer. And all you'd do is you'd pull out enough line from that, and then you'd pull between these two eyes and down, and then you'd pull between the next two eyes and down, and you'd have loads of line around each finger like this, and then you'd swing it out, and then the weight of the rig would take all the line out. You can't really cast like a centre pin trotting down a river. You can just sort of let line out if you want to, like this, letting it go down a stream. But if you were chucking out into like a lake or a reservoir, that's predominantly how they used to go about it. Plenty of videos on YouTube if you want to go and watch them. We've got my videos. But yeah, that is one reel, quite an old one. Let's start with a more modern reel. Look at that, brand new. This is a Roddy 922R. Got a fish on there. Right hand drive. Can't change handle over on this one. Oh, I don't know, it might be one you can. The actual stem here goes into a centre body. It's got a plate on back. I do believe that some of these you can take all the gubbins out and swap them over, so we might be able to. Some of them, like this one, you can't, because this is built into this side of the reel. So we might be able to, but have you got a Roddy 922R? We'll have to go out one day and try and do a left-handed video with it. But Roddy, nice little reel, innit? You imagine that paired up with one of these rods here, like that on there. Look, looks a bit better, doesn't it? That's the sort of thing you'd be used to seeing back in the day, and other people have looked at that and been like, wow, he's got a Roddy. We'll go back and tell our lass I want a Roddy for Christmas. So yeah, that's what reels used to look like back in the old day. Let's go with something a bit more modern. Here we've got a Shakespeare Omni 030. Right hand drive, or left hand drive. It's got a lovely drag on it. Works fine, don't interfere with clutch lever on it. It's not damaged in any way. Still works absolutely fine, that. And back wind. Shakespeare Omni 030, sorry. Yeah, the whole box cost me £10. Look, we've already got his money, haven't we? It's got line on it. I'll never use that line. It'll get stripped and replaced with some more newer line before that gets used. So, have you got a Shakespeare 030? Let me know in comments. Talk away. This is, by the way, I'm sorry, just trying to fill up a bit of time, just chucking it down outside. You never know when weather's going to turn really bad, and I thought if I just do this for you today, you should really show you what I get up to. I do this quite a lot, and I don't always put it on videos. I just thought, let's do another one. Look at this. This is a Alcox, Redditch, England makers. Alcox reel makers. Tiny little reel, and I can tell, not a fly used reel. You can tell where line's been on there and it's actually grooved its way into wood. Look at that. Lovely brass backing on it. Incredible. Very, very small version of that thing there, look. Lovely little reel. Have you got an Alcox? Let me know in the old comments. Talk away. I think that might be it for the wooden ones. No, it isn't. Here's another one. So that one's probably in between those two. Look. So we've got like one of each. Again, I can't see any brass stamping on the back of this. There could be something underneath. Not sure. It's got line on it still. No fly line, just ordinary line. Again, 60s, early 70s sort of style reel, that. What else have we got? Where's that one we just got out? This one is a Colombian. It's a Colombian, number 62. So maybe there were so many different variants of these reels, they actually numbered them. Colombian 62. Does it still work? Oh, it does. Folding handle, like your old Mitchell reels. So you loosen that, pull your handle out, put it in groove, tighten it back up. And there you have it. A Colombian. Back wind still works. Incredible. Could do with bitter and oil. Some new line. Did you have a Colombian? Made in Japan. Yeah? So it's going to be a good one, that one. Let me know. Did you have a Colombian when you were younger or back in the day? Do you use one now? Talking of Intrepids, we have here a massive Joe Mangle. There we go, undone it. Intrepid, tiny. This is a Black Prince. I don't care what anyone says. The label's missing. It should have a little tiny label there that says Black Prince on it, and it's missing. The bail arm is also missing. But I've got so many spares for these that I could have it. Believe it or not, the handle still functions fine and folds down. If you paid £10 for this reel, the handle, you've already got your money's worth, because those clips break quite easily. But Intrepid Black Prince, same brand as the Intrepid rod. Did you have a Black Prince? Another Black Prince with bail arm on. Tiny little reel. So all you'd have to do is take the handle off there, put it on that one, and you've got a fully functional Intrepid Black Prince. 2 of those. 3 of those. Oh, this is a different model Black Prince. So this has got a different handle on it. In fact, no, I think that one has just... It's had the... No, it is a different handle option. So these have got quick release handles on. This one has just got your fixed style handle on it. Probably the better option, because those plastic clips, they do break quite easily. There were no sort of system built into this housing here, into bell housing, like a modern style reel like this one. Look, you'd fold that over and it'd clip over. The bail arms on these old style reels, you'd fold them over and the bail arm would hit this stem here, and that's how it'd go back over. That's why they live forever, because there's no working parts in them to go wrong. So, yeah, 3 Black Princes. Made in England. Patent numbers on there. Absolutely incredible. What else have we got? We have got another Shakespeare Omni 035. So that's a 030. This is a 035. Again, clutch works fine on this one. Wine's nice. Yeah, again, old ones are the best. If you ever do come across old reels like this and you want to put them back in service, a couple of screws, take off the side covers, that's how easy these are to access, and just get a bit of grease and just put it onto a few gears. You don't know how long these things have been sitting. If they've been sat somewhere really warm, the grease thins and falls to the bottom. So then when you start taking it out at shed after 30 years and giving it a good old wind, that grease has failed and you end up putting a lot of stress on some gears in there that weren't made out at greatest quality material. So open them up, pack them full of grease, pack them, and that'll lube them up and keep them nice and cool inside. But another Shakespeare reel. Already we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got more than what I thought we had. What should we go with next? Not a Black Prince. Or maybe... What's that? That's an Intrepid. It's the bigger one of the Black Prince. Tell me, what's the name of that one? Have I got one up here? Anyway, we've got another Intrepid. This one has, it's like the more Shakespeare Mitchell style bail arm on it. Again, works absolutely fine. Just needs a handle putting on. And I've got handles galore here. That's probably the handle for it. Got another quick release one there. It's got the broken thing on it off the Intrepid. They used to break really easily. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 reels so far. What should we go with next? Let's go with this one. A Scarborough. A genuine Scarborough. Massive old reel this, and a lot of you might be thinking, what in God's given name are you going to do with that? Well, this was a popular sea fishing reel back in the day. This one you'd see commonly used on a boat. And you're like, well, why is it so big compared to them? Well, this had not come out yet, housing lots of line onto a reel. When you're sea fishing, you're normally using really thick line. Look at that stuff. It's a lot thicker than this here, and that's 30-pound line. You needed a big area to store all that line, and the only sensible thing to do was to make a very big wheel to store it on. The bigger the wheel, the more line you can fit on it. The smaller the wheel on the reel, or the spool, the less. So that's ideal for your thin stuff. This, what you'd see a lot of anglers hanging off the edge of a boat in the sea, fishing for mackerel with it and stuff. But genuine Scarborough, nonetheless. Not many of them about. Yeah, probably go on a shelf somewhere or hang it up. Probably, I don't know, we'll probably try and use it. But that's the 14th reel. Let's go with something a bit more modern. This is, can you remember Theseus Match? Theseus. That were another company that you'd find their reels were very similar to other people's. This thing works absolutely fine. And it is so smooth, it is unreal. And this one like a budget reel, front drag reel 40, Theseus Match. Not the most expensive reel it will. Oh, chrome's wore off here to plastic. It has got a folding handle. It still functions fine. No spare spools with it. Graphite plastic spool, drag works. Got some decent line on it. Very, very smooth. And for a cheap reel, infinite anti-back wind on it. Yeah, get a video out of that, won't we? This is sort of reel that's perfect for me chucking on a cheap rod and putting in a rod case and going into a local fishery shop or a fishery and saying, can I leave this here? And if one of my viewers comes down and says the number 5678, you need to give them this reel and rod. So this will probably be with one of the, well, a lot of this will, but, well, no, it won't. Probably keep a lot of this. But like stuff like these Shakespeare Omnis, I've actually got a few of these. But stuff like that, that'll last a young angler, or one of you guys, for ages. It's a lovely reel. So, Theseus Match, front drag reel 40. Yeah, lovely thing. Very similar to the Shakespeare and the Rovex. Quite a very common concept when it comes to, not pinching reel designs, but it made sense to get them all made under one roof. Now, I've got a spare spool here for a Mitchell. Doesn't say what it is. So we've got a spare spool there. I've got this, which is also for a Mitchell, and lovely, I've got a bunch of Mitchells down there. It's got a spare spool in there and carrier as well, look, for a Mitchell reel. So, comes in the little Mitchell tub. That came with this box. They're quite hard to come by now as well. I've got a few of them. Oh, I've got another one here. Look, a little tiny, this is a fly reel. So I've got some fly line on it. So, yeah, you'd pair this up with your favourite fly rod. That'd go on bottom down there. Little tiny thing. And then you'd hold it up here and you'd pull your fly line off. Tiny little thing. Again, we'll have to try and clean that up one day and see if there's a... Oh, it's actually got sort of back wind on it. So it is a bit of a break. It's got the guide on it there, look. Lovely little reel. So yeah, we'll have to go out doing some fly fishing one day and take that with us. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 reels. Let's go with the 15th. Oh, hold on. Got another handle here. Nice. Let's go with this one. Now, this will probably get used quite a lot on channel, just for doing some big casting and stuff, or using big rods, because I don't use a lot of big, massive reels. Like a very big Shakespeare one there, a Sill Star. What's that one? GXB 60. And I don't like to do everything perfect on this channel, because that's the point of it. Yeah, just get out and use something. Get out and do it. But this reel come with all this, and I thought, you know what? This will probably be ideal for doing a bit of carping, a bit of piking. And it is a trusty Shimano Aero GT 6000. Look at that thing! It's like a mini big pit reel. It's full of multicoloured braid on there. This plate here just wants a dab of glue going under it and gluing back on. That just sits there like that. But look at that thing. It takes about a week and a half for the spool to come back down, look. Big folding handle on it. I got back wind on it. I think something like that we could chuck on a carp rod and just go somewhere, or take it to the beach. We want to do some beach fishing with it. But that alone for a tenner is a bargain. So yeah, that comes with it all. Works absolutely fine as well. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Massive old, make a lovely massive feeder reel that. We'll have to get a carp rod and make it into a feeder rod and we'll punch out some huge feeder sessions with it. But yeah, Shimano Aero GT6000. Have you got one? Have you got 3 of them? Do you use it as a spod rod or marker rod, or do you fish with it? What do you do? Let me know. I've got one and I have no idea what to do with it. It's not a reel, but in here I've got some Drennan Specialist Carp 10 pound 20 meters of hook length braid. Absolutely no idea how long this has been sat in there, but it's there, look. Little tiny Drennan Specialist Carp Dacron. That'll go into a little tackle box at some point. And I'm going to finish on this reel. It's not the best version of it that used to be available back in the day, but a lot of you have one. A lot of you have had one. Some of you have probably still got them. You probably don't get on with them anymore because they don't look anything like these. And it is the trusty Dam close face reel. Unfortunately, too much livery has come off the spool shell for me to see what model it is. But it's got the drag system on the back here. It's got anti-back wind there. Lovely reel. Close face reel, like you don't know. You literally dab the top to open the bail arm. You reel it and it clicks back in. There's a little tiny pin that sticks out that grabs your line. Perfect for trotting on river, or this was, I had the close face Daiwa when I were starting fishing, and I used it so much that when I first got myself a close face, an open spool reel like this, I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what was going off. But little tiny Dam close face reel. Did you used to have one? Have you still got one? Do you want to see me use it? And some spools here. Oh, Intrepid. So right there, actually, for an Intrepid reel. Where's that other Intrepid gone? So I've got some spare Intrepid spools there as well. And that's it. The box is empty. So, how well have I done? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 reels. 16 reels for £10. And a lot of you, I know, I get it. It's tat. It's rubbish. But if someone, even if I didn't want it or need it, if someone turned around and just walked up to me and said, "Do you want to buy it for a tenner?" Of course I do. Shimano for a tenner. We've got a Dam close face. We've got a Scarborough. We've got an Allcox. We've got a Shakespeare. We've got all Intrepids. We've got everything for 10 quid. So when it comes to the second-hand market and you're buying stuff, you need to ask yourself, why are you buying it? And what do you intend on doing with it? Well, I'm not a hoarder, because 80% of tackle I buy is going to be thrown away. It's going to be chucked away. I know you've all seen pole videos from the other day. I think I've made up now 12 full poles. I think it's about 14, 15, and they're all made up. I'm not filling my content with poles because it's ridiculous and there's so many. Also the top kits, because what you saw in that video was a chunk of them. There was so much more, and it would have meant doing like 12 or 13 videos going through it. I'm not doing that. I've got over 150 top kits, 12 full poles with number 4s ready to go, and so much Maver top kits, it's unbelievable. Like, they are everywhere. I've got pole sections coming out my ears. down every raft of this loft up until that point, because they're all rods. It is pole sections everywhere. And most of it's heading for the bin, or it's been stored somewhere because it's no good and it needs going in the bin. But some of it I'll stumble across and people want a bit of money for it. 16 reels for £10. A Shakespeare Mac 3 XT, 3 spare spools and a spare handle with case, £10. 3 rods, including a black arrow, a fly rod, and just an Intrepid for 10 quid. So what can you get out of stuff like this? Well, the idea is to use it and keep it. And when my kid, little Shady, I know you've seen him on Facebook, when he gets bigger, hopefully I can overwhelm myself so much with stuff like this that he can enjoy it. Because it will be so alien to him, it'll be unbelievable. By the time he's in his early teens and he's using all top at range stuff, he'll be able to go out and have fun with stuff like this. And it'll be nice for him to get out and try and have a day's fishing with something like this. And he can just have it, because it was going in the bin for somebody else. I've managed to take the time out to share it with you guys. I'll keep it. Like, I love stuff like this. And probably when we're long gone, there'll be people like Shady doing videos on this channel, because he'll probably be having it when I've gone. And he can talk about all this old stuff that his dad once got from someone else's dad's dad when they got it from their dad, and it's just great stuff. Like, some of this stuff is so old, it's gone past needing throwing away. It's actually got to a point now where it needs using. So get in comments, talk away, even if you've got nothing to say. Give me a venue you'd like to see me try it at. These rods, forget the fly rod, we'll try and sort something with that, but these rods will both take spring and swing tips, and I've got loads of them down there in a bucket. Sea fishing, you want to see me go and do a bit of sea fishing? I've got loads of sea rods. I've got some big sea reels. I've got a couple down there. We're a massive old Shakespeare up here. But should we take this Shimano Aero GT 6000 and a beach rod down to the beach? Go and have a day's fit. Just, I don't know. Just, this is what I do every day. And if you guys don't make any suggestions in the comments box, I have to kind of wing it. Oh, I'll tell you what I did find the other day. I found a little tiny tackle box at a fishery next to a bin. It works. It's fully functional. It clips together fine. It's full of hooks. It should never have been left out. It was actually left open like that in a little bush next to a bin to a fishery that I went to. It's got in it a little tiny float with hooks stuck to it, a little lure, some other bits and bobs. So I'll fill that up with some basic tackle at some point. Couple of floats, disgorger, shots, pack of hooks, plummet, and that'll go with a rod and reel into one of those cases that I've got somewhere, and that'll be left at a fishery for one of you guys as well. So yeah, a bit of a free video for you today, just to throw away. I had to come up here to do some admin anyway, and I thought I'd just come up here and show you guys what 10 quid can buy you off Marketplace. That's 10 quid for 16 reels, and I didn't go searching for them. I just stumbled across them. 10 quid for 3 rods, 10 quid for a Shakespeare Mac 3, which is incredible. That is the bargain of after all this, by the way. But you guys can do it too. Yeah, if going out and buying £1,000 worth of rods and reels and you're only getting 2 of each is not your thing, and you just want to do a bit of splodging and catch a couple of fish, get yourself an old Intrepid and an Intrepid reel, a Black Prince, get your flat cap on and go and have a day somewhere on the river and go and enjoy it. Because I was talking about this just this morning to somebody, and that's the difference between getting out fishing and not getting out at all. Just get out and enjoy yourselves, go and do something. I'm just an idiot stood in a loft with a bunch of tat round him, and I'm bringing it to you like this. So yeah, get out and enjoy yourself. Have you got any of this stuff? Get in comments, talk away. It'd be nice to hear some stories, I don't know. Like a Scarborough. Who's got a Scarborough? Anyway, I want to wrap this video up there. Not a massive video, not a really in-depth one by any means, but I just thought share this with some of you guys, and we'll see where we go interest-wise. The books are great. I love these books. If anyone's got any of these, get in comments, talk away. I love reading through stuff like that. It really does take you back to a time when people were really trying to figure it out. You know, and I know we're not there yet. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing all this every day, would we? But it's just nice to be able to read stuff from those kind of mindsets back in. I don't know. I was born at the wrong time. I was born in '89. It'd be nice to. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, "Oh, you wouldn't," but I'm already too far gone as it is. I was born way too late. I think my time would have been in the 60s, like prime. Probably born 50s, 40s, but prime. I would love to have been around 60s, 70s at my age now. Getting to grips with all this stuff, it would have been great. So I'm going to wrap it up there. What do you think? I reckon it's an absolute bargain, 30 quid, even in £10 increments from different people. Get in comments. I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. This is just a day in the life of me. I've got mountains of stuff over there to get through. I just thought I'll get a bit of it and chuck a video. If anyone's interested, I don't know. It's some of this stuff. It's I don't know. You could go on forever just thinking about it. Never mind talking about it. So thank you for watching. If you've not already, subscribe. It's completely free. It costs absolutely nothing. It helps me out as well. It's YouTube help push my videos a bit more. The more subscribers I get. I don't know how that works. Something to do with Matrix. And it's free. That's the important thing for you guys. It costs absolutely nothing. So when you press subscribe, or when you see that subscribe button, you might think, when you subscribe to a magazine at your local paper shop, it's going to cost you 13 quid a month. But at the end of the year, you are going to be able to build your little polystyrene train or your aeroplane. Subscribing on YouTube is completely different. It's completely free. It costs nothing. It's free. Everything is free. Everything. Even watching this video is free. So hit subscribe. It costs nothing. If you don't believe me, try it. Just press it and it's free. Honestly, it's free. I wouldn't say it otherwise. And give it a share. Lastly, comments. Talk away. I think we can do a few videos with some of this stuff. And I think some of you, one of you, all of you, none of you, you might have had a dam close-faced and an old rod. I might have to come down one day, come and have a session with one of you guys and film it. If you're not too keen about being on film, I'll film me doing it. And at the end of it, if this is a reel that you once had or it once escaped you and you've not got it anymore, I'll come and have a day's fishing with you, chuck it on channel, and you can have it. And I'll leave it with you. And it'd be nice for you to regain a bit of memory from me making a memory. So that would be quite a nice idea. So I'll leave it there. Guys, thanks for watching. This is just me in my loft, just between breakfast and dinner, just trying to muster something together. Normally, the camera wouldn't be turned on, and I'd just be up here doing some really bad singing and just putting away loads of old guff. But I thought today, bring you with me, why not? Anyway, we're waffling. What do you reckon to home decor? What do you want to see in here? Let's get out with a Shakespeare rod into something and get it to a young lad or lass. Everyone says we'll get it to a young lad. Let's just get it to a young angler. Unless someone's got a young daughter that's actually, you know, because it makes us sound like we're just all male-orientated, done it, and we're not. So that'll probably go to a young girl, we'll try. What do you want to see some more stuff in here? What should we do? What should we add? Have you seen anything in previous videos you want me to hang up in here? Talk away. This is your show. I just stand here and host it for you. Thank you all for watching. And I don't know what day it is, but a video went on Sunday. Official audit, good one as well. They need some help. And stand by for Tuesday Newsday. That could be before this video. It could be, I don't know when it's going to be. I have no idea. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Camera girl, get over that. It's dust all over. You've been messing up here again. I'll bloody have your guts for garters.